All right, what's up, y'all? Reggie here, another video for the Utopian project. And, I want to do a video about CERN because it's July the 4th. And on July the 5th, they are, 2022, supposedly they are getting ready to fire up CERN again for another collision test little deal that they do, right? CERN, C-E-R-N, you can read about it if you're not familiar. Over in, I'm pretty sure it's in the neutral, country of Switzerland. Now they claim to be politically neutral, obviously, et cetera, et cetera. But when it comes to stuff like this, I mean, we've forced Switzerland's hands before when it comes to political, pressure. So when it comes to very important things, very important findings of science, I just know not to believe anything that is coming to me from any typical media, large media source where a bunch of countries and whatnot agree on something. So there's that. Now, there's only a matter of time, as far as I'm concerned, before we discover something from these scientists and this material that literally only a handful of people can have a conversation about. Like, you're talking about quarks and charms and new particles and laws of physics that most people have no idea about, et cetera, right? So it's going to be real hard to criticize some of this. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't scientists out there that can do some comparative analysis of certain things. And those are the things that I kind of look for. I look for, when it comes to important topics, I look for things that don't come across readily. But anyway, I've seen a lot of my friends, a lot of people that I know personally, a lot of people that I know but don't know personally, etc., locally and kind of around the globe a little bit, as far as I can see on social media, with this idea that, July the 4th was a special date in relation to this, that, and the third, and last month there was something, some aligning of planets, and then July the 5th is a special date, blah, blah, blah. So there's a lot of, and I won't use the T word, the theory. I won't use that word, but a lot of people are suggesting that the folks at CERN or whoever involved with this is either trying to, on purpose, or may accidentally open up a portal to another dimension. Now, just saying that in and of itself, it will probably sound funny to a lot of people, but you know what? I'm all for it. Use your imagination to come up and to think about possibilities based on what you know, what you've read, what you understand, et cetera, et cetera. Use your imagination, because that's what you're supposed to do, to question your surroundings and question your reality. I don't look down on that, because that's what you're supposed to do. As a matter of fact, that's part of abstracts. That's part of the IQ test, using your imagination. So that's cool. And I just want to say, hopefully none of y'all were the same people that were lambasting people and wanting to cancel people for using their imaginations when it came to trying to figure out what might have been going on with a certain contagion and a certain medicine and certain political, movements, et cetera, when it came to those two things over the past, 2.5 years or whatnot. So, there's that. And if you were, that's cool. Maybe you can start to change your understanding of why you shouldn't be that type of person. But also, just keep that same energy, because people like me, when we question certain things in government entities or whatnot, I mean, this claim is leaps and bounds ahead of what anybody was talking about when it came to said contagion in medicine, or some of the things that I post, like, you get an official picture from space, supposedly from a government agency, and they just so happen to leave off a whole country island, not a small one, mind you. When they leave that off of the picture or representation or whatever they're trying to show you, and other things like obvious blue and green screen, mistakes and blunders when it comes to video and pictures, those things are right there in front of you. It doesn't take much imagination to understand what's going on with that. So when it comes to this, hey, if we are about to release the Kraken, so to speak, and open up another dimension from which, evil and demons and whatever else, because apparently opening up dimensions can't result in anything good. There's not going to be angels pouring out of this, supposedly. It's going to be only underworld demons and, devilish, chaotic sort of things that could come from this for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe somebody can explain that to me. But whatever. If it is, then look, one, what are you going to do about it? You can't do anything about it for the most part. Us have relinquished our sovereignty for the most part to a bunch of money-grubbing corporations ran by a bunch of megalomaniacs who want to act like God and be God. So there's that. Now, and furthermore, if it does happen, if something bad or whatever does happen, wouldn't it be noticeable? Or is it going to be not noticeable? Which is one of the things that I've seen a lot of people say, like, hey, we shifted off access into another dimension, and that's why blah, 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 blah is happening, and whatever else. So whatever, if this does happen, then it was going to happen. And it will certainly fulfill a lot of prophecies from various, accounts and books and scriptures from various religions. I would assume, or at least most would probably try to make it apply to such. And, it would be a very exciting time to be alive. That's for sure. So let's get the ball cracking. Let's get it cracking. Let's get the ball rolling if that's what's going on. Because you still have to row your boat and be merrily. Life is but a dream. You're going to have to react to all of whatever it is that's coming and see if you can be who you think and who you proclaim you are. Because you better believe if it's not this, it's going to be something else. And, again, I just want people to keep that same energy. And if you question these sorts of things, then as long as you're doing that, I'm all for it. Just don't make fun of other people and what they question. Because this idea, this concept, this reasoning is about as far out there as I've seen. And there's way more proof for a lot of other things that a lot of people call people kooks and crazies for questioning and for talking about, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm all for it. And again, hey, maybe it can be more proof that life is more than what we've been led it to be. Maybe it can give some motivation to people, to change how they look at life, et cetera, et cetera. And, what could be the positive that could come from it? Because if it's going to happen, if there's going to be something negative, there's something positive that you can also take from it. So, hey, that's about all I got for this video. And let's just hope that I can do another video after tomorrow, which is July the 5th. So let's see what happens. And then, what are we supposed to do? Are y'all taking notes? You got to be careful if you believe every video that you see, because we can come up with all kind of videos. I've seen plenty of videos related to CERN and what people saw in the sky and this, that, and the third. So let's be careful with what we assume to be, quality reports coming from this. But hey, whatever. Let's see what happens. Again, you can't stop, at least not now. You're gonna have a hard time stopping these folks who want to go out and pretty much stop at nothing. If there's a 50-50 chance of them blowing up the whole, the whole world, you'd have at least half of them wanting to go ahead and try it and see what they could come up with and do, et cetera, et cetera. So, these megalomaniacs, semi-psychopaths, et cetera, we got to be careful what we do and how we let these people get in office and get funding and be able to do whatever the heck it is that they want to do. So, but anyway, let's see what happens. I'll see y'all in the next video. Until then, hopefully, the next video. Peace, love, and light. See you later.